A direct sequel could be an impossible feat for Marvel Studios, as Logan proved to be a one-of-a-kind movie about the character. However, with no shortage of famous characters that have been part of the X-Men at some point, there's no need to rush in the introduction of MCU's Wolverine, which can be said about Laura, aka X-23, the next generation of mutants, who'll hopefully be brought back in the planned spin-off sequel, now in the hands of Marvel. Seeing how, if not all, most of the movies belonging to the superhero genre came straight from the comics, and many of the characters in the comics are getting their live-action counterparts put in the two of today's biggest fictional universes, the DCEU and the MCU, with the latter being the wider one. And not all characters have gotten to the point of being seen on the big screen, with so many still left behind, some not getting the importance in the live action as their comic book counterpart, and then there are some who have lived up to the expectations and had their fair share of runtime on the big screen, and that's where Logan, aka Wolverine, comes in. Hugh Jackman has been part of the role for quite a while now. He might ultimately consider running for a Guinness World Book of Records for times he showed up as the beloved character, who we are slowly but surely missing more and more with each passing day. 2017's Logan saw Hugh Jackman starring as the titular character, which was also the 10th movie in the X-Men franchise, finally after 8 full years completing the Wolverine trilogy, together with 2009's X-Men Origins Wolverine and the 2013's The Wolverine. The movie itself brought to us the old Man Logan storyline adaptation from the comics to the big screen, a slightly altered one, but still true to its core as it revolved around Logan and ill Charles Xavier protecting young mutant Laura from the villainous Reavers led by Donald Pierce and Zander. The movie itself received critical acclaim with strong praises for the performances of both Hugh Jackman and Patrick Stewart. The movie went on to garner the title of being the best reviewed project from the X-Men franchise, with many critics calling it one of the greatest superhero movies ever made, grossing over $619 million at the box office. So the future was bright for a sequel, one that we've still yet to see with our own eyes. The closing minutes of the movie see Hugh Jackman overdose by the serum given to him by Richter, enhancing his abilities to heal himself faster and boost in strength, who together with Laura aka X-23 managed to slaughter most of the Reavers before the serum wears off. X-24, the next generation of mutants, manages to endure everything thrown at him and impales Logan on a tree branch. Laura loads Logan's revolver with the last adamantium bullet Logan holds onto in case he has to kill himself, and she uses it to shoot X-24 in the head, which is the only thing to stop it and kills him. During his last moments of life, Logan goes on to tell Laura to not give in and become a weapon that she was made to be, and after she acknowledges Logan as her father, he dies peacefully in her arms. Laura and the other children like her bury Logan, and before she leaves his grave, she tilts the cross to make an X, honoring him as a hero and one of the last of the X-Men. Dafne Keen was the breakout star of the movie, there's no doubt about it, and she said that Fox actually approached her with a plan about a sequel to the Logan movie, but in the form of a spin-off, one focused on her character and the future of X-23. However, all plans were put on hold when Disney acquired the rights to the X-Men from 20th Century Fox, shutting the entire project down for the moment. The thought of it sounds really interesting, as she's one of the weirdest characters we were able to see on the big screen, as she came out of nowhere and took over, and knowing that she's now part of the MCU, there might be something even greater in store for the character. Keen might have to stay patient as Phase 4 of the MCU focuses on the multiverse, so there might be something for her in the third Deadpool movie that has already been confirmed, which seems like a good place to start for the character, seeing how close Deadpool is to the new generation of mutants. This wait for the character's next showing might also turn out to be an even greater thing, as she would be older the next time we see her on the screen, maybe in her 20s as well, and a movie focused on her at that age when compared to her teenage years might actually prove beneficial for the character as a whole, with the movie itself possibly exploring the trauma she experienced in the movie Logan and what are all the effects it has on her as she's now older. Disney's getting the rights to the X-Men in such a big deal, as they're one of the biggest and most famous franchises from the Marvel comics, and if there's ever a question about Wolverine and a possible sequel, Not a direct one, seeing how the setting has changed and the movie would need to be refitted for the MCU. They would have to take a different approach because we think that there's not a chance that there can be a sequel to Logan. The movie was just too good on its own. One of the biggest differences could prove to be the things that Jackman's Wolverine could do many things that he now can as part of the MCU, as all Marvel movies so far have been PG-13. However, looking at the projects coming up next, with the horror genre getting more and more attention from Marvel Studios and Disney alike, there might be a place for the character in the same spotlight as before. We're not quite sure yet, we'll have to wait on that a bit. This is also the reason why we think Marvel should wait with the debut of the character, and knowing that there will be a different actor playing the role, they would have to be very careful with him, as there will always be the comparison between Hugh Jackman and the new guy, which is understandable seeing how Hugh was able to play the character for more than 2 decades.
This all here, none of this no existo, okay? You understand me? This Eden does not exist.
It would be an impossible standard to beat from Marvel, but if someone can do it, it is surely them. Due to the length of time of Hugh's iconic portrayal of the character, he's commonly regarded as the infinitive Wolverine, and the best way to tackle this problem, we think that Marvel should simply wait and let the anticipation about the character build up to a point where he's regarded as one of the characters that will be there in order for the MCU to have a very successful X-Men franchise. And in the meantime, the MCU should just focus upon the dozen of heroes that have been counted as members of the X-Men. There's no shortage of high-profile characters that are worthy of being part of the MCU. Why not include the others first? The ones that had their fair share of screen time in Fox's X-Men, including the likes of Mystique, Magneto, Storm, and Professor X, who has already been confirmed to be taking part in the upcoming Doctor Strange sequel. These are some of the characters we can think of right now that can slowly but surely put the effort to set up the X-Men, and then all of them being brought in together in some form of a team-up, with Wolverine possibly saved up for a sequel to the team-up movie we're currently rooting for. On a related note, tell us down in the comments below what are your thoughts on the Wolverine trilogy. Do you think that the movie had a proper send-off for one of the biggest names in the X-Men franchise? But also, what about the future of the movie and how it left us? Where do you see it going, especially with the rumors of a sequel in the form of a spin-off movie with X-23 in the lead role? And also, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon if you'd like to see more videos like this in the future. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.